Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Wayprotein's Quick Tips. This is a series designed to highlight some of the more advanced techniques that high-level players use in game that I don't see discussed very often in the community. So I plan to structure these episodes by selecting a mechanic or maybe a concept that I want to bring attention to and explaining what it is, when to use it, why it's an effective technique, and how to practice it. The topic for episode 1 is a mechanic that I think most people have learned to do over time, but it doesn't really have an official name, and I don't see it commonly discussed or practiced in the community. So I wanted to bring attention to it with this video, and this mechanic is called shielding. So what is shielding? Shielding occurs when a player intentionally places themselves behind the ball or close to the ball in order to force a favorable 50-50 for their team. This is extremely common in high-level lobbies, and in practice it looks pretty similar to dribbling or air dribbling, but shielding is a little bit more defensive in nature, where you're not really trying to dribble towards the net or air dribble towards the net. You're just trying to stay close to the ball so that when the other team inevitably touches it or challenges it, you kind of control the 50-50 in the way that it spills out from there. A lot of times in game, you might be up to hit the ball, but maybe you're low on boost, or maybe there's no one to pass to, or maybe you don't have enough time to get a solid clear. These are all opportunities when shielding is an effective strategy. Shielding allows you to maintain possession of the ball, or at the very least, prevent the other team from getting touched. I put it up an unranked match so I can better demonstrate these situations where you'd want to shield the ball. The first one I want to look at is right here. I don't have a lot of boost, but I know I'm about to receive the ball. And so instead of trying to, force it up and getting a weak clear right to Morgs, who's waiting on the wall, I decided to take a trap and shield the ball instead. And these are unranked players, so ensue a lot of whiffing. But you can see here, what I've done by doing this is I've drawn a line between myself and the goal here, so that no matter who challenges me at this point, there's no way it can turn into a shot on net. If I'm dribbling and I have the ball on top of my car here, then it's easy for someone to come in and dunk me, and maybe that rebounds to the backboard or towards the net or something. But since it's in front of me, I literally can't be challenged in a way that will result in a goal. So neither of my teammates have to worry about a shot coming on net right now. We'll see the challenge comes in. I'm able to win that 50-50. But they have a player waiting to receive the ball. But look what he does with it. We're actually able to get a shot, and I missed the bump here, but we're actually able to get a shot because of that shielding play. The shot's not great, but I just want to highlight, how that play right there, I had no boost, or like 20 boost, and I just slowed the ball down. I stayed behind it. I forced a 50-50 on my terms, and my team was able to create an opportunity out of it. So that's one example when you'd want to shield. So let's look at another example of when you might want to shield the ball. This is another situation I chose because it highlights how you can shield the ball at fast speeds. So here I'm going up the wall, and in most high-level games, you're not really going to get a strong opportunity out of this. You can hit it towards the backboard to double tap or pass. But anything that goes towards the net, somebody's going to save. And same with the backboard in most high-level games. So what I do here instead is I take a touch and then I follow it as quickly as I can. You see this move a ton in professional play. And what happens here is that I'm not really focused on scoring this ball. I'm not trying to air dribble it or anything. I'm just trying to prevent Master Camtron and Morgs from getting a free touch. Let's move to the fly camera here. So as long as I'm following this, they cannot clear this downfield because I'm right behind it. Let's see how it turns out. So I follow it effectively. I get a dunk on his attempted clear. And if we have another player here, it's a good shot opportunity. Or at the very least, we maintain possession. So even at fast speeds, you can use shielding in a way that's extremely effective. And if you watch RLCS and high-level tournaments, you'll see players do that a lot. Let's look at another situation. So this one's a little bit sloppier, but this is a good example of when you don't have a great touch and you don't want to just give the ball away, how shielding can be useful. So here I received the ball. I could have shot here, but it's an unranked game, and I wanted to demonstrate the point. So I take a touch, and from here, I really can't get an effective touch on the ball towards the net. So instead of trying to force something and giving away the ball, I'm going to use my time. I'm going to put it out in front of my car so that I can't be challenged, or I can't be challenged effectively. And look how I just forced this 50-50. It spills right out. And we don't get a shot out of it, but at the very least, we maintain pressure here. I think this ended up in a shot. Yeah, so we ended up with a shot because of that movement. Let's show it at full speed. So I don't like my touch here. I drop it. I force a challenge that I like on my terms, and then we hold possession and get a shot out of it. These are all really great examples of how shielding can be used effectively. The final benefit to shielding that I want to highlight is how it can actually be used to help clean up your team's positioning and rotations. So this is a common thing that I see in games where maybe I have a ball like this and I just push it out to the side. And I can follow this, but there's a lot of space that I create between that. And so if a teammate is in this corner over here, or they're next to me and they see me do this, they might assume that, I'm low on boost or something, and it's their turn to touch the ball. But if I just take it slow, I stay behind it, I very clearly communicate that I intend to continue to play this ball, and hopefully they would recognize that and give you space. So here are some drills to help you practice your shielding in game. For starters, we want to work on slow shielding when we don't have a lot of boost. So go into free play and you want to turn off unlimited boost in free play. And then you're just going to want to push the ball around the map, staying as close to it as possible. I want to reiterate here that shielding is different from dribbling. This is going to look a lot like dribbling practice, but when you shield, you usually are just trying to force a 50-50. And so it's not about putting the ball in your hood and flicking it as much as it's about staying behind the ball and controlling where it's going, controlling your positioning behind it. So this phase is going to be pretty simple and easy to pick up on. Once you get comfortable with it, I want you to start practicing with unlimited boost still turned off, taking the ball up the wall and following it. So this, just like dribbling on the ground, it's going to look similar to air dribbling, but don't get fooled. You're really just putting your car behind the ball. You're not really trying to push it much further, as much as you're just trying to recreate a situation in game where you're trying to avoid some kind of incoming challenge. Realistically, at the high champion levels, you don't score a lot of air dribbles because they're pretty easy to read. So air dribbling is more of a defensive tactic because of shielding than it is offensive. And so this is great practice for that. Again, we're still trying to not really go too fast at this stage, just control our speed as if we're kind of low on boost. So once you get comfortable with moving the ball around slowly in free play and shielding it, I've created a training pack that highlights some of the more uncommon situations where you might want to shield the ball. For example, when you want to pop the ball up with low boost and just follow it so that the other team doesn't get a free shot or touch, as well as a couple of other situations that I think this training pack is really useful for training. So there will be a lot of catch type shots where maybe you want to catch it low or you want to catch it high and you want to pop it up or something. I really encourage you to get creative, but keep in mind that it's not really about scoring in this training pack. It's more about imagining the different game situations where this would happen and why you might want to shield and the way that you might want to take some of these 50-50s in order to create offensive opportunities. So I'll post the code to this training pack in the description, and you can get to working through that and improve your shielding abilities. So the final practice method for shielding is probably my favorite and probably the most useful for empowering your offense with fast-paced, controlled shielding to help you maintain possession and offensive pressure. And that's just to go into free play and hit the ball around like you normally would, but make it a point to hit it hard, fast, but stay behind it as well as you can. So if I take it up the wall like right here, then I'm trying to jump as soon as possible to stay behind the ball and maintain my speed. So this will look extremely similar to how you just normally go into free play and warm up, but try to make an effort to be as close to the ball at all times as possible. And once you do that, it'll just come naturally in game when you're dribbling or taking the ball off the wall, anything like that, for you to stay close behind it if you don't have a lot of boost or offensive options. So that's the final drill. I think that covers it for practice. Just start slow with low boost. Go into the training pack, try out some unusual situations, and then just incorporate staying close behind the ball with all the normal practice techniques you'd normally use in free play. So that covers it for shielding, everyone. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions or have any feedback, just comment down below, or hit me up on Twitter or whatever. I would love to hear what you guys think. If you have any opinions on some of the other mechanics I should cover in this series, just let me know, and I'm looking forward to making the next one. Thanks.